a completely bogus, outrageous, violent raid that was carried out against the chairman, deputy chair, and the Uhuru movement that involved this completely manufactured and slanderous lie that the chairman and the Uhuru movement were somehow involved in being Russian agents in a conspiracy to sow discord in the United States. And the chairman formed the Hands Off Uhuru Fight Back to push back against this, to demand, to fight for anti-colonial free speech, and brought together forces from across the political and ideological spectrum to unite behind the leadership of the African working class to push back these attacks and to push back against attacks on the right of African people to exercise the supposed constitutional right of free speech, to advocate for their liberation and self-determination. And we did end up going to trial. The Chairman O'Malley, was the primary target. Chairwoman Penny Hess, who we heard from earlier, and myself were also charged in that process with the same charges as part of the attack on the chairman and the Uhuru movement, and to scare away you from being here today marching for reparations. And on this day, last year, on this day, we were summing up the verdict that had come in the day before in that trial. We went to trial in Tampa last September, and after a week-long trial and an incredible fight back led by the chairman, the movement, tons of people who came out to support the Uhuru Three, and our amazing legal team that worked under the political strategy of the chairman and the Uhuru Three were acquitted of the main charge, which carried a 10-year prison sentence, of being so-called foreign agents of Russia, but in a bizarre, inconsistent verdict, convicted of conspiracy to do that, to do the thing that we were found not guilty of actually doing. So in December, we went down to Tampa for the sentencing. The courthouse was packed.
With many people that are here today.
Yes, and really, many of you who are here were with us in Tampa. And because of the support of you, of all of the people who were there, the US government failed in their mission to put the chairman in prison, to attempt to discredit and delegitimize the African liberation movement. And the demand of that time was not one day, not one dime. And that is exactly what happened. So now the chairman and the Uhuru Three, Chairwoman Penny and myself, are under probation and having to complete 300 hours of community service, get permission to travel. We have an appeal filed right now against the conspiracy conviction, and the fight back is not over. And that brings us to our next speaker, because part of the fight back is the Uhuru movement, the Hands Off Uhuru's campaign, that these laws that were used as weapons against the chairman and the African liberation movement have been used time and time again as weapons by the US government against speech by African and colonized peoples, and anyone who wants to use their speech to criticize the US government. The foreign agents laws, these conspiracy laws, they have to go. And one of the most important organizations and forces that has stood with the Uhuru movement from day one of when this attack happened was the Center for Political Innovation. And joining us from Chicago is one of the key forces of that organization who's been on the front lines fighting for anti-colonial free speech from the very beginning. We're always so happy to have him here with us from Chicago, John McCarthy.
On behalf of Caleb Boston and the Center for Political Innovation, I wanted to salute and endorse Chairman Omali Yeshitela's brilliant new initiative to repeal and abolish the Foreign Agent Registration Act. This is a bad law. It's vague, it's anti-speech, and it's dangerous. And right now you have some well-meaning people in the anti-imperialist community and in independent podcasting that they're saying, no, we don't need to get rid of this law. We need to get the government to use it for good, use it against AIPAC and the Israeli lobby. With all due respect, That's like trying to approach an active school shooter and convince him to stop killing innocent children and instead use his weapon against the bad guys. Even if you survived somehow, and even if you temporarily succeeded, the fact is that nobody is safe while that weapon is in the hand of the psychopath. And this is what we're going to do. We are going to remove this dangerous weapon, the FARA law, from the hands of this psychotic state. Now, it took the mind of Chairman Omali Yeshitela to see that this was the move. Because Chairman, he doesn't fight the enemy on the terms that the enemy defines. He figures out a way to force the enemy to fight us on our terms.
Right.
That's how we won the battle in Tampa,
Yep.
and that's how we're going to win the war. So once again, Chairman Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party are leading the fight to defend everyone's right to speak and hear the truth. And once again, the Center for Political Innovation is grateful because our mission and our purpose is to speak the truth. And you are winning for us the ability to do that. And you had better believe we're going to use it. Uhuru.
Give it up for John McCarthy, CPI. That was brilliant, as always. Thank you, John. And I just want to let people know that on September 18th at 6 p.m., there will be an event about the campaign that John was just talking about to repeal these repressive laws, hosted by Hands Off Uhuru, and you can find out more at handsoffuhuru.org/register to get signed up for that event on September 18th, Thursday night.